Welcome to Six in the City, the podcast where 620-somethings talk about shit and some of them live in cities.
I'm Jen.
I'm Lexi.
I'm Nancy.
I'm Elena.
I'm Jane.
And I'm Robin.
Hi, welcome back to Six in the City. So today's episode is going to be about gaming, which is one of my personal favorite topics, just like how budgeting is Jane's favorite topic. I'm Jen, and today we're joined by Elena, Nancy, Robin, and Lexi. So I guess to kind of get started, my first question is, what are everyone's favorite games, like overall? And if you are playing any games right now, what are they? And I feel like for this episode, gaming isn't just like video games. It's like phone games. It can be board games even. I don't know, like anything. Card games. I don't know.
My favorite game right now is Team Fight Tactics. Definitely.
Yeah.
Or like
Yeah.
Ori and the Will of the Wisps, which is like also a game. But TFT, number one in my heart right now. I love it.
Okay.
What about you, Jen?
Oh, I am also TFT is my number one. Same as Elena. And I think that's the game I'm playing the most for now.
I'll go next because I am also a team fight tactician. For context, Jen really got Elena and I into the game. And even just before this recording, Jen and I were playing a game and Elena was on the voice channel with us. So we're clearly very hooked. But I'd say that's like the only like traditional like gamer game I play. The other games I play are Animal Crossing, which is another favorite in this group. And I still actually actively play. So I feel like that kind of died down after the quarantine period. But Animal Crossing, I play Tetris. And oh my gosh. Do you guys remember that game from like 2014, the phone game 2048? Yes. I recently re-downloaded it and have been playing it, and it's so addictive. I love it. I
would play that in class.
Yeah, me too. It's so bad. But it's so easy because you just have to move like the arrow keys, you know? Oh my gosh, yeah.
And I play it on my phone. So I like, as I have like YouTube playing or something, I just play it. But then do you guys also remember like you could find the versions online that were like custom?
Like EXO?
So, like I would play the EXO and Shiny version.
That's so funny.
I would play those.
So my number one all-time game is The Sims 4. It's the game I can consistently play without getting bored of. At the time of recording this, the new Cottage living pack is about to come out. Like, the pup's okay. So they're really excited about the Cottage living pack, but that's exciting because I love chickens and cross stitch, which are in that pack.
Wait,
and
does that mean, Lexi, your Sims will get cottage core?
Yes, absolutely. They will be, a lot of the Simfluencers are calling it cottage core instead of cottage living, which is hilarious. So I am gonna live like with my chickens in the middle of like my cross stitch designs. But I also was a big Animal Crossing fan for years, and then the new one came out and I hit burnout because I used to play for like 12 hours a day, but I was so addicted. It was the only thing keeping me going in the early Rona times. And so then I hit like a wall because my big and I would play all the time, and like we earned too much money because we like hacked the turnip system and the stock market, and so I hit burnout. I now play like once a month to like check in on my animals because I feel guilty leaving them. I also love Stardew Valley, but that is also like a burnout game. You play that, it's reminiscent of Harvest Moon, which is my favorite DS game. And once you play that for a while, you get married, you have 6 kids, you're like, I am burnt out. This game is done now. But right now, my current addiction, that is a fleeting addiction, I'm sure won't last as long as Sims 4, is 2 Point Hospital.
Like hospital?
It's
like
like
you're a doctor?
It's like, you know, Roller Coaster Tycoon?
Ooh, that's such a good game.
Yeah, it's like that, because I used to play Zoo Tycoon and Roller Coaster Tycoon on my cousin's computer with like her big hunky like giant 90s computer. And so it's like that, but for a hospital, and they're releasing one soon that's a college campus. You manage it, so you're like the administration. I want one but museums. That'll be fun.
Be perfect for you.
I know.
How about you, Nancy?
I'm not really a gamer girl type person. I have a Switch console and I haven't turned it on in almost a year. When I do play games, especially in undergrad, it was more like computer phone games. So the one that you like reminded me of before we logged in was like Merge Mansion. So it's like matching. I really like the ones that are like you have to like mash things in a row and then like it'll clear the board. I also really like the bubble ones where you like have this, when talking about like the bubble shoot, you have to shoot it and then you
Bubble
shoot
Trouble.
it and then yes, Bubble Trouble. That's
I love
it.
that game. I beat the game.
Oh, I didn't even know you could beat it.
I have a screenshot. I was so proud.
Wow, yeah. So I like used to play that and like Bejeweled type games essentially, or like Candy Crush type games. The only game I've ever beat in my entire life was Pokemon Rangers on the DS.
Impressive.
Otherwise, I just don't like games don't really hold my attention that much and I like get tired of them. I used to be really into Diner Dash. Is that still a thing? Diner Dash?
I think so. I feel like it's still a thing.
Maybe I'll like re-download it. I was like really into that.
Story.
Yeah, like it's just something about like having, I don't know why, but like having to coordinate, how many people can fit in a, a table just really brings me joy. I think it's like almost like replicating something in real life, but it's not. It's like the less anxious version of it. And also I used to play this mummy like PC game. It's like a mummy maze thing where you had to escape the mummies, but every time you do one step in one direction, it like did two steps in that direction. I don't remember what it was called. I'm sure some listeners will know what I'm talking about. It's like an old PC game, kind of like Bubble Trouble, and you had to like escape like the tomb area to not have the mummy catch you, but you did like one step. No, it's not Temple Run. It was like very strategic.
My God, I remember the day Temple Run blew up.
That was big. Flappy Bird used to be really big too. I remember that.
Good times. I feel like we have lived during a time, when iPhone games are really popping
Tap
off.
Revolution.
Yeah, and like Fruit Ninja.
Right.
Fruit Ninja.
Flappy Bird, Fruit Ninja. What else? I feel like we went through like those like peak phone games. I feel like we really experienced those that people nowadays will never get to really experience doing it. I would play it on my iTouch like in high school,
Yeah, I would play like Tap Revolution with my friends.
Yes.
During lunch.
So good.
Yep.
We kind of talked about it a bit just now, but I'm curious what phases you guys have gone through with games, I guess. Like, especially for me personally during COVID, I feel like I really went through a lot of gaming phases, like Animal Crossing. Similar to Lexi, like I was really into it because it's my first time ever playing Animal Crossing. And I got really into designing my island. And I feel like I was over ambitious and then I burnt out. Now it's like harder for me to get back on it. But not just even now, but like, in your entire life, were there any games that you were really devoted to? Like for me, it's like MapleStory, like Neopets.
For sure.
Neopets.
We didn't even talk about like the Webkins.
Webkins. Oh my God.
I think that was my gateway.
Club
Penguin. I think it was Club Penguin first, then Webkins. But it was like, I don't know what you would call, like, that's not a role-playing simulation game, but it's just like
online.
I don't know. Like
chat
you just
game.
Like living your life.
Right.
Like as a penguin.
Multiplayer online game.
You're like trying to build up your igloo. You're buying the little puffles.
To me, that's role-playing.
Is that role-playing? Is that considered
I don't know.
role-playing?
I don't know if it's technically, but to me, it's role-playing because you're like pretending to be your penguin in your igloo, like.
True.
I also remember Habbo Hotel. Did anyone?
Yes.
That's what I remember as well.
Did anyone play that one that was like owned by General Mills? That was like, the cereal company, and then everything in the world was like themed like the cereals. It was like Millsville or something.
No,
I don't know if that's the right name.
Have
That
you guys
one
ever
was
played
my
the
shit.
KFC simulator?
Huh?
Wait, you guys don't know about it?
Oh, is it that one that's like it's like the Japanese style, like the love romance game? But it's KFC?
It's like made by.
I've seen that.
chicken.
I've seen that.
I've seen
It's literally
ads
just
for
the
it.
colonel, and you
ads
like
too.
date him.
He's
It's
like a
hilarious.
sexy
It's like
guy.
actually made by the company too. It's not just like a random. Fan.
It's like Hatoful Boyfriend, but with Colonel Sanders.
I used to play also like the Barbie online game.
Yeah.
As well.
Yes.
I can
And
still picture them all.
Yeah, like the whole pink thing.
The Polly.
And then
Wasn't there a
Polly Pocket.
Yes.
There was.
Yes.
Yeah. I used to
Game
love
where you
dressing
could, like,
them up.
Yeah, you could like change their clothes
Love
in this machine that they
Right.
went in, and then it like changed their
Yes.
patterns.
I did
That
not
also
play that
reminds
game.
me. That reminds me about the Disney Channel games.
The Zack and Cody
Oh,
game,
Zack and
those
Cody
are
the Sweet
good.
Life
one,
game.
the Lilo and Stitch one,
The
Mine
sandwich
was-
stacker.
Oh,
The
I
sa-
was just
the
gonna
sandwich
say
stacker,
the
that's the-
sandwich stacker.
Lilo and Stitch, so good.
Good.
I know for me, I was really into Neopets for like a year or two in my life. In Neopets, you can have, there was like guilds or channels or whatever. So I know we talked about it before, but I was in a Warriors Cats guild on
Yes,
Neopets.
I love it.
I think I spent money on that game too. Like buying
I spent
some
money on that game.
Neopets
Once they
cards.
brought the stuff into Target that you could
Yes,
buy.
yes.
I spent a lot of money on that game, and also that's the game that taught me how to code. So I guess I can credit like my current job to Neopets because I wanted to make my you know how they have like home pages.
Yes,
I wanted
yes.
to make mine the dopest, and so I literally learned like HTML, archaic early 2000s HTML, to do that.
Neopets was great.
I used to
And-
be into RuneScape, if that's still a thing.
Mhm.
And also like around like 13 when like the whole era of Twilight was like so amazing and every like preteen girl was like so obsessed with Twilight, including me. I jumped on like the vampire bandwagon and there was this like role-playing online game called Reign of Blood. And I was really obsessed with it. I like you like joined a coven and like you had like a vampire husband who's a real life person, but like you like marry them in there. So like I like run from home after school and like check my messages in Reign of Blood to see what my vampire husband sent me today. And like he could send like you like roses and roses in the game and stuff. So it like really affirmed my desire for like romance, even though I like had no clue who this actual person was. But that was my obsessed period. I think all throughout middle school, I probably like logged on to Reign of Blood like every day if I could.
Did you have a vampire name?
I don't remember. It was probably something Serenity, knowing me. Like something Serenity, probably.
Definitely Club Penguin. That one I spent money on. Like I asked my parents for Christmas to just pay for my Club Penguin so I could get those like black puffles. Remember those
Oh,
were
yes.
the ones? And I really
were
decked out my igloo. That was nice. I was really obsessed with that. And then I think Tetris. There was a point where in my middle school to early high school where everyone was just playing Facebook Tetris. And like our school, you would bring your laptops and use them in class to like take notes and stuff. And no one would be paying attention. We would all just be playing Facebook Tetris while like on Uvu, or if you all remember iChat.
Uvu.
You remember iChat? That was like the pre-FaceTime era. But yeah, we would like video chat during class. We're like muted and you're just not speaking, but you're playing Facebook Tetris with each other. For a few years, I was really obsessed with Tetris. And I think that's why I'm like pretty decent at it now, is because I spent so much time and there was peer pressure. And then Animal Crossing, just like everyone, not everyone, but most people, a lot of people during quarantine. And I'd say that's it. I guess TFT now.
Yeah.
TFT, Nancy and Lexi, if you want to join.
That kind of strategy game stresses me out.
It's not a whole lot. It's not like so much strategy. You hurt your brain thinking, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's a very good game to multitask in, like very low maintenance.
I remember
low
your presentation on it, how you can just like set it up and then let it be.
Yeah.
Great game.
I think the strategy is only required in like the first half. And
Then
then
you
it's
set
like,
everything up.
yeah, then it's just like on autopilot pretty much for the rest. You just kind of let it play out.
Did you guys
sponsor
ever
us.
play IMVU?
What is that?
Remember it,
IMVU?
yes.
It was like 3D models. I think it still exists, like 3D people. And you just walked around this weird world and chatted with people, and it was really strange. And it was creepy. I can't believe anyone let children on there.
I only remember it because it was advertised on Habbo Hotel.
Yes, I think it attracts a similar crowd.
I think so. I remember exactly. Like it was so many different ads for that. speaking of Robin's Facebook games, do you guys remember Farmville?
I was literally thinking that. I was like, when can I bring up Farmville? Like, and all those Facebook games where you had to send each other stuff, so you'd like terrorize your mom's friends to get like.
It was so annoying to me. Like all those Facebook messages, like notifications, like Farmville requests. That was a wild time on Facebook for sure.
It's gone now, right?
Oh yeah, I checked.
Oh.
There was also like one that was like a fashion mall. There was one that was like a restaurant, and I played an aquarium one. I played all of them. I spent a lot of time on my computer growing up. Nancy, do you remember that game you used to play with the words on the phone that you like
with friends?
No, it was like
it was like
made letters.
Yeah, I re-downloaded it recently, but I only played it for like one night because you guys are actually talking about. I think it's called Word Connect. Yeah,
I remember that. I remember sitting there and like 4 of us trying to help you figure words out.
I was gonna say, I just remembered because of this conversation that I played Plants vs. Zombies like constantly, and then I re-downloaded it about a year ago, and I play it every single morning. It's like the thing I do when I wake up.
Plants vs. Zombies. Why does that sound so?
It's a phone game.
My brother loves that game. My brother plays it.
Yes.
I don't know why I still play it every single day, but it's like a nice morning routine. Fight my zombies with my plants. I also played a lot of Xbox games in high school after my World of Warcraft phase, like Call of Duty and like Red Dead Redemption.
Whoa, gamer girl.
Halo.
Truly a gamer.
Yeah, I feel like Elena has played a wide variety of games. I don't know,
especially console games.
Yeah.
I like
gamer
console
girl
games
for
a
real.
lot. I was never really into computer games aside from World of Warcraft, so that's why I was like, I didn't think I was gonna like TFT, but like I really like it.
Here we are.
Prove me wrong.
Here we are. I used to have a DS back in like middle school, elementary school. Nintendogs.
Oh,
Nintendogs. Yes.
Nintendogs.
I had the special edition DS that came out when Nintendogs Gold came out that had like the paw prints on it.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't know that existed.
I still have it. It's the blue color that Nancy, that we both kind of have a lot of stuff that's like the blue color. It's that color. It's at my parents' house with silver paw prints on it.
Oh my god, I would have snatched that up.
Cute.
And then I had the DSi and I was like, why'd you buy me this? I have the coolest DS in the world. My mom was like, this one has a camera. And I was like, Chuck threw it away. I was like, I'm only playing my limited edition Nintendogs DS.
I used to play Mario a lot on like the like really old Nintendo console where you had the
N64.
Cartridge. Yeah, and you had to blow on it every time it like spazzed out.
Yes.
Wait, which is it? Is it Nintendo 64? Did any of you have that console?
I just had a GameCube.
I had a GameCube.
It was definitely older than the GameCube, and I think I only had it because like I have an older brother, so games were.
I'm the oldest,
earlier.
so I only had things my dad bought for.
Yeah, no, that's fair. But there was one game on it that was, I think, like the first like real game I played, which was Bomberman.
I remember
it was
Bomberman.
so fun. Yeah, it was so fun. I remember my aunt was like a beast at it, and I remember being like, I want to be like her. She's so cool.
I used to watch my uncle play Grand Theft Auto on his Xbox when I was like 8 years old, and I thought it was the coolest game ever because you could steal cars and run over people.
Still cool.
I don't know if this is a game, but did you guys have Tamagotchis?
Yes. I still have one, but I killed it so it would stop beeping.
I was so attached to my Tamagotchi.
Same.
I used to take them everywhere.
Right? Did you have the lanyard too? Like, so you
Oh yes.
I had the lanyard.
Did you have the Nintendo DS game that connected to your Tamagotchi?
Oh, I wasn't that blessed, but
we weren't that cool.
I remember when I used to live like abroad, I would have to take a bus to my school because like my school was far from my house. And it was a thing back then to bring your Tamagotchi with you to school every day, right? And then one day I forgot to bring it with me, and I realized just as I was about to get on the bus, and I think I cried because I couldn't imagine going a day without it. And I was scared my Tamagotchi would die. So I was really depressed that whole day at school because everyone had their Tamagotchis and I didn't. But that was a really good time.
I'm surprised the school let you have them. They were banned in my school. You couldn't have it in class.
I think they banned it at one point because
it was like too distracting.
Yeah, because everyone would just carry it, with the little.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tamagotchis are great.
I remember buying my first one at the Toys R Us in New York City.
Did you guys ever play? I feel like this just like unlocked a memory, but do you know what Littlest Pet Shop is?
Yes, of course.
Did you have those physical like games that you could physically connect other people to Littlest Pet Shops and like your pets could visit each other?
My cousin had like a lot of the stuff and like no one to play it with, so my aunt would buy me the things so that I could play it with her. So we had like the Littlest Pet Shop one and the one that's like girls that lived in little houses and you could stick it together and they could go visit each other.
Right. They like it was I thought it was like the coolest technology when I was like in middle school. It was like Tamagotchi like upgraded in my opinion.
But now in Animal Crossing you just put in a code and you can visit each other's island.
We've come a long way. We've come a long way from those little screens.
Did you guys ever go through a Pokemon Go phase that one summer?
Yeah.
It really blew up.
So
I was out in the city yesterday and there were a bunch of people near me wearing like Pikachu hats and like Pokemon Go, like Pokemon gear. So my sister and I were like, oh, what is this? And she checked and there was like a Pokemon Go like event in New York. So I was surprised that
it made a comeback.
It's still pretty relevant, but that took up my whole summer.
And my brother was so into it that he cried when I got Pokemon he didn't get.
I was in Japan that summer, like when it was really popular. So it was like really, really popping there. Like there was just crowds of people like on their phones. And I got that one that's like only available in Japan. It's like called Farfetched or something. And I was very proud of myself.
That was a good summer. I feel like a lot of people were going out that summer, to get those Pokemon. I would like drive to what is it, those training centers, the gym, whatever.
My brother and I bonded from I was able to drive and he was not yet able to drive, and so I would take him to all the Pokestops.
Good times.
Wow. Before Pokemon Go there was geocaching.
Ooh,
if anyone did that.
I did that.
I also like that as well. I think Pokemon Go is like the new quote unquote geocaching now.
Virtual geocaching.
Right.
Wild.
Did you guys ever play like educational games like that SpongeBob typing game? Good game.
Oh, like in space?
I don't know if it was in space, but
I played
it was just
like,
SpongeBob themed.
Oh. Like those typing games that taught you how to type on a keyboard?
Yeah, I think there was a space
like
one.
A spaceship.
I've never done the spaceship.
I think I've done the space one. I think my school had the space one, but I had the SpongeBob one at home because like they tried to sell it to parents of gifted kids with a pack of books when I was younger, and they're like, get this pack of encyclopedias so that your kid will be smart, and also that it comes with this free SpongeBob typing game.
We have our kid read an encyclopedia. Yo, Oregon Trail.
Yes,
such a good game. I played it every day in computer class.
What game?
There's a card game version of it now that's actually really cool.
Really?
Like a card game version of Oregon Trail. My friend in college had it. Kelsey, she had it. And it was really fun. Oh my God. I just unlocked a whole other memory. I had this game that the keyboard was like an egg you smash and like a beater and a whisk. And then you could like, you plug that in instead of your keyboard into like an old hunky, like this is probably like 1997, 1998. Like I was like literally a toddler and it was like for toddlers. And you could like make a cake on the game by like
your real whisk.
That whisk that was in the keyboard.
Interesting.
I need to find that and like
the original modded keyboard. It's just a giant whisk button you just smash over and over.
Yeah, it was crazy, and it was like for toddlers. And my dad was like, "Oh, like how am I gonna entertain you?" Because my mom worked nights and my dad worked during the day, so my dad was like in charge of entertaining me. And so he was like, "Let's just plug this keyboard into the computer, and you can make a cake."
That did unlock Cooking Mama memory for me.
Cooking Mama.
I saw that they have one on Switch, but I didn't hear good reviews about it.
It's made by a different company, and so it's
the
very
DS
good.
Cooking Mama was great.
Overcooked is better.
Overcooked is so good. It caused my family to like have a breakdown. Like my mom, I have a video of her rolling around on the floor crying because of Overcooked.
No.
Literally.
It really tests relationships.
It
Like any
does.
relationship. Man,
Oh,
if you
yeah.
can cooperate and overcook, then you know you've got a strong bond.
No, me and my boyfriend would play it like last summer during COVID every single
you?
night.
Aren't you like really good?
Yeah, we got like really good, but like certain days we would just like start yelling at each other and then we'd like turn it off and be like, let's talk it out. Like we should not be angry about Overcooked. And I think it actually helped our relationship because we like got our anger out. And then because we made up, we got so good at Overcooked. Like we will destroy anyone teamed up. I can't play with anyone else though. I'm just horrible. It has to be my boyfriend.
In sync.
So Overcooked was your couples therapy.
Yeah, it was also during Ramadan, so we would just like be like we would not have eaten, so we were extra hungry, extra angry, and it was great, and it was COVID. Good times, am I right?
If each of you had to choose or say one game that you think you could easily crush the rest of us, like all of us in, what would that game be?
I would say Maple Story for me.
Can you win Maple Story?
No, it's not like winning because you're just doing your own thing and leveling up. But I feel like I've invested so much of my life into Maple Story that I feel like I know the game really well. So I would say Maple Story. You guys should really play Maple Story. Oh, it's so fun. It's not the same as it used to be, but it's so fun.
I would absolutely destroy everyone here in Bubble Trouble or Tap Tap Revenge.
Believe it.
Elena, I like to argue against the Tap Tap Revenge thing.
Yeah, you want to fight?
Yes. I think
unfortunately we
it.
can't prove it. They don't make it anymore. But after they discontinued it, I downloaded Piano Tiles because I felt like it was like kind of similar. Yes. And I'm also very good at that one. So fun.
Same concept.
I was also really good. I think my thumb strength is really good.
Yeah, we have good thumbs. Strong thumbs.
I remember freshman year, Elena used to sit on my dorm floor playing the Piano Tiles for like hours at a time.
I was obsessed with it because I would get mad at like myself.
Yeah, for missing one. You're like, oh,
and especially at the beginning, right? But if aside from that, I don't really think I can beat anyone in anything because I don't play a lot of games. But I guess if it's comparison to like the amount of hours I put into things, maybe like some kind of like Bejeweled-esque game, you know, with the matching, like because that was the one that I played the most growing up. But yeah, I'm not really a competitive game type person aside from like the Piano Tiles, Tap Tap Revenge type games.
Well,
I'm more of a solitary player, you know.
Well, yeah, you could get a higher score than the rest of us in like Bejeweled or something. That still counts.
True. You definitely would get the high score. I can't play those type of games. I have this weird disconnect with like my hand and my brain. So anything that's like you got to go fast, I like hate it. Yeah.
But what would you crush the rest of us in, Lexi?
Clearly I can build the best Sims house, like obviously. So if you guys want me to build your dream home in the Sims, let me know. I love building houses in the Sims.
What's your answer to your question? What would you destroy us in? I think I know the answer.
Me too. I think everyone here does. This is like the one thing that I kind of won't be humble about is that I'm pretty good at Tetris. I'll also say, really coming off very very, very conceited here, but I think I'm pretty good at Sudoku. It's like a puzzle game.
I love Sudoku.
Yeah, I know this group also likes Sudoku. So, but yeah, I'm pretty confident in Tetris.
Are there any games that you're bad at and would never be able to fully understand?
Definitely Animal Crossing. I just
Is it just not your style?
Yeah, I think I would just like play it for 5 minutes and then be like, I'm not doing anything, you know. There's no like movement, you know.
Right.
Definitely the building games that Lexi likes, and I think that's why I was burnt out by Animal Crossing. I liked it when I was just picking weeds and chopping wood and fishing, but then I like burnt myself out when I was comparing islands, and I was like, oh no, my island would never be like this person island. I tried to build and I couldn't. And because then I viewed Animal Crossing as a building game instead of just like a mindless doing what I wanted, I like got burnt out by it.
League of Legends, I'll never understand.
TFT, no.
I get that.
League of Legends is just such a weird, like it's so, I know it's like in the same genre as like World of Warcraft, but it's its own weird thing that I just can't process in my brain.
It's pretty different from World of Warcraft.
I guess it's like in the same like subcategory of games, but it's very different and it confuses me. The system by which it runs confuses me. Like I've tried to watch like professionals. That's such a weird thing to say, but they're esports professionals. I've tried to like watch professionals play it and I can't follow it.
For me, it's like Spyfall or like Werewolf or Mafia, like those kind of games where it involves lying and like acting. It stresses me out so much. I can't, like I know I'm really bad at Spyfall.
Oh my gosh, we should do an episode of the podcast where we play Mafia.
That would be so
Jen would
fun.
hate it.
We should do
so
it
fun.
though.
It like makes me actually sweat because like I hate being the spy, I hate being the mafia. I don't know how people are so good at it.
No,
Robin and Elena know. Like
Yeah. Get very sweaty.
I know. Are you crying thinking about it?
Oh no!
I'm okay.
It's true.
I'm so bad.
I don't like those games either, Jen.
I'm really bad at like the first person shooter games.
Like
And I have
Valorant?
no interest. Yeah, like Valorant or
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty. Yeah, like I'm very bad and I have no interest in them.
Any final thoughts, my friends, on this discussion?
I love The Sims. If you have never played The Sims, it's an endless money pit.
We went through so many games. Thanks for listening. See you guys next week.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Six in the City. You can follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter at Six in the City Pod.
This episode was edited by Jen, with music brought to you by Gandhira Pratama. Thanks for listening. Bye.